Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, baby.
That's right. From San Diego to San Francisco, from LA to Phoenix to Vegas, we're on the air.
And we're all over the world, too, folks. That's all over the internet. We are on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook Live, X, and sometimes we're on Instagram Live. But we are there. We are ready to take your comments and your questions in the comment section.
I think we were surgically removed from...
We were from the engram.
They found us irresistible.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
No, but we're all over there, so make sure if you're jumping online and watching us right now, you're making sure you're liking it, share it to everyone you know, because we're going to have a special guest tonight, right?
We are. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to have the one and only Pete Chirico, also known as Texas Jack Vermillion, from the movie Tombstone. He's going to come on, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're going to talk about his book that he's got coming out, and of course, he's got his own
CD coming out.
Yeah. So we'll get into
based on Tombstone. I want to hear more about this.
Me too.
We got we got a couple of musicians in the house here, but we have three aficionados of what I happen to think is the best Western ever, and it's certainly in everybody's top three.
I have to agree.
And still timely.
Although I would say probably four. Because well, here's
that's
why.
All right. Top five. I'm feeling good.
You know, you can't. The John Wayne trilogy, Rio Grande, not Rio Bravo, but Rio Grande, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and Fort Apache. Those are
pretty strong.
Kind of the best Westerns ever made. And then again, you got The Searchers.
There's a lot of tight spots up there. It's hard to fill them all.
I can't think.
Okay, well, he was not in any of those, but he was in Tombstone, and he's going to be on our show tonight at 7:30.
That's right. Okay, so, and I'm sure he will be on most people's top.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to say he's not on my top. I just can't. You know me, I can't pick a number one.
Can't. You can barely pick a car.
Yeah,
you found a way around that.
I resemble that remark.
Buy them all.
I'm trying. Anyway, so I like to do like a top five, and I rotate them.
That works really good. Hey, so he's going to be on the show, and you know what, Mr. and Mrs. America, you could be too, because this is a
live show.
Sure
and that means that we have a phone number. Jimmy, what is that?
You guys are going to want to call in. It's really easy. I'm learning some stuff from Leon. It's a real easy number. You're going to want to call 866-870-5752. Once again, 866-870-5752. And all you Americans out there, even those people overseas, happy post-Independence Day. Hey, how about that? It was a great time. Hope everyone was safe out there, enjoyed themselves, and celebrated America, the best place in the world.
Well, here's Kevin with the fireworks.
Boom, boom, boom.
I love that. I love that. If you're not watching the screen, you should be. It's pretty good.
I come from a time when fireworks were a good thing, and everybody used to get them. You used to go down to the corner, and there'd be a fireworks thing on air.
Sparklers and the little snails.
And they were actually good. You remember?
Yes, I do.
They felt good.
And nowadays, I mean, you light them and they kind of go off sideways, or they don't light it on. And it's just,
I had a couple duds this weekend, so I get it.
Yeah, and of course, I live in Norco, and you can't do any fireworks in Norco. So literally every other house in Norco was doing. Having their own fireworks display, let's just say, because some of those things were rattling my windows.
Until what time? Because,
3 or 4.
I knew it. Yep.
I mean, unbelievable.
I tell you what, I always want to take a big slug of cough medicine just before bedtime on the 4th of July.
Well, there was no more cough medicine left in my house because I had to give it to my dogs. Those poor guys. We got the 3, and they are just.
Have they come out from under the bed yet?
Finally. Finally. And of all things, Masha, who is a Russian Caucasian, these dogs are so fierce. She came with a 20-page booklet when she was...
I remember.
9 weeks old. This itty-bitty little potato with legs and fur, and she came with this huge booklet on, make sure you do this, make sure you do this.
Keep away from children. Lightning.
Oh, man. And she is the biggest chicken you've ever seen. She is the sweetest thing on 4 feet, and it's just hilarious. Keiki, my Springer, he didn't. It's like, woohoo, what's that? And then Gunner, my German Shepherd, Gunner was, beside himself. He was just hiding I mean, I think he was actually hiding under Masha.
So you've got 475 pounds of dog trying to hide under the bed. How did that work out?
Well, not so good, not so good. And unfortunately, we lost Hank last year, so he was 225 pounds all on his own. So, and he was probably the worst. We would bring him into the house, and because he, the shedding and the spit, he was a Saint Bernard guy. So we would keep him attached to something.
That is mini dog.
Yeah, and so I had him attached to my pinball machine. Okay.
Which is now upstairs.
Well, let's just say, when he was around, it would always be about 9 feet away from where it started.
That's weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's a Sopranos pinball machine, so I could hear Tony Soprano cussing for about 15 yards. Dragging the machine through the thing. I was like, oh, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of 4th of July in Norco. And again, I have no problem with fireworks. You want to blow them off, okay, but come on, 11 o'clock.
There is a shut-off time, so people need to be up in the morning.
And alcohol and fireworks,
not a combo.
Not a good match. It's like alcohol and firearms. It's not a good idea.
It's practically the same boat. Just
we are all about safety.
Yep.
Yeah.
Safety. We'd like you to have the same number of fingers, toes, and children tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so... Anyway, that was we went up to Big Bear for 4th of July. We went up early and did a lap on the lake, and they do a huge fireworks thing up there, but it doesn't start till 9:30, and we beat it. And let me tell you, we left about 3 o'clock, and coming down the hill, going up the hill was bumper to bumper. From about 5 miles in.
Boy.
Yeah, it was brutal. I understand there was over 1,000 boats on that lake.
1,000?
1,000.
Pretty much walk across the lake
right?
at that point,
I think you can, yeah.
Everyone just packed in side by side.
Yeah, you don't need no Tarzan rope to be swinging between, because you could just walk. I mean, unbelievable. There was so many boats on the lake during the day, and a ton of speedboats, and the kids on the
jet skis.
It was also pretty good at Arrowhead.
Yeah,
How
a lot of people. The off ramp to Arrowhead off of the 210 was
Must
backed
have been
up.
Nuts.
Oh yeah, it was way backed up. So, from my cabin, I don't need to get out onto the lake to watch the.
Oh no, you
see
don't.
From my place, but I understand it takes 3 hours on the 4th of July to do one lap around the lake, which takes you 20 minutes with that.
Oh boy,
that's how many people go up there, and so we decided, hey, you know what? Let's leave early.
Right.
We came back down.
I was from where we are.
At my over there. Shout out to the Packing House. They have a car show, a classic car show at the church, and so we got to do water rides all over there and walk aisle after. There was probably probably close to 150 different cards there.
Wow,
I have a bunch of pictures. I'm going to put them up because they are so cool. So you would have had a ball.
I was say, sounds like my backyard.
It does, and it almost looks like it too, because it's just all in a field, everything clean and ready to go.
All right. Well, speaking of clean and ready to go, let's get to Richard at the airport. How are you, Richard?
Good evening, you fire-cracking gunslingers.
Hey.
Better than our usual wisecracking. Go on.
What's going on, Richard?
Good to hear you, Richard.
Right. I want to know, what is more powerful, a pellet gun with pump, or a pellet gun with CO2?
Ooh.
I know that the compressed air guns are so powerful they can drive. Pennsylvania is actually considering allowing hunting with pellet guns right now.
Wow.
So
they do make them up to 25 caliber.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah. And I know that you can get 1,700 feet per second out of those things. I think that's crazy. I think it's probably a wash.
Do you know? Well, I know you know, but Lewis and Clark had a pellet gun with at least an air gun. An air gun,
a compressed air pellet gun.
Yeah, all the way back Lewis and Clark days.
The early 1800s.
They've been around a long time.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark, because I'm going to imagine, because technology and how they've made stuff, the canister, the cartridge of CO2 is probably going to hold the pressure a little bit better. I got some comments on here already saying that on there, but just because I've been hit with a couple both from either side, and just by the feel of it, it feels like it holds the pressure a bit better.
Yeah, the only bummer about those is once you open that thing, it kind of sort of ends up losing its gas.
Oh yeah, if you're not using it now.
But if you're a teenager, and Mark, you'll appreciate this. If you're a teenager, once you're done with that CO2 cartridge, you take a hacksaw and you cut off the top.
Wait, I'm on the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, cut off the top. You kind of smooth it out, and you can use that as a slide.
Hey now.
You can also, not that I know anyone who ever did this, but this is for you as well, Richard. You could also potentially fill it with match heads.
Oh,
Dunk it in sterno, put it in a piece of water pipe. I'm not, of course, I've only heard of this happening. I never
make
had
a
it.
bit of a projectile of it. Well, mine's safer.
A lot cooler.
Richard got a joke for us tonight?
Yeah, but it's we just had the 4th of July. I'm going to test your patriotic knowledge. Do they have a 4th of July in England?
Yeah, everyone.
Well,
does.
yeah,
anyone who has a 12.
They don't celebrate it, but they
3rd
have
and the
one.
5th, right?
Oh. Okay, you've got that. You got me. Well, how about this? Why don't they have knock-knock jokes on 4th of July?
Why?
Freedom rings.
Bing bong.
Well played.
Very good.
Well played.
God bless you, Richard.
Richard, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, and I'm glad you had a good 4th of July.
Thank you, sir.
You too,
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, when we get back, we'll be here with Rick from the CRPA. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.